Warm welcome, a very good day to every one of you. I'm very sure today everyone is very happy because today is Friday and we are going to enjoy our weekend. So today, as usual, we have another amazing, prominent speaker who is going to be our panelist during our forum. He is Professor Dr. Randy Tudi. He is an author of several books, including doing qualitative research. And generally, he's a researcher, a lecturer, an international speaker, and also he is, of course, an academician, right? So he has vast experience in the area of academic. And if I read all his bio, it's quite long. So we want to hear him sharing, yeah, more than wasting our time and your time. So, okay, so now he is attached to USAT University in Philippines. And he is also an international peer-reviewed journal with local international peer-reviewed journals, such as in New York, New York, US, Spain, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Indonesia, and other countries. So now, I think without much ado, we shall start by doing an opening intro by Professor Rania. Dr. Randy, you can introduce later a little bit extra about yourself, because here the words are so tiny, I couldn't read out. Okay. Professor Rania, please do the...
Thank you very much, Dr. Estera. Warm greetings from Athens, from Greece, dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students. Welcome to the Real Talk with Experts, hosted by me, Professor Anya Lampo and Dr. Estera. I am Professor Anya Lampo, advisor at Elegant Empire Education. I'm a STEM instructor, researcher, author. I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education at the Greek Astronomy Space Company. Welcome again to our education and lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education Malaysia, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses on quality education for all, regardless race, country, and religion. Our idealistic and visionary founder, Ambassador Professor Estelle Mala, focuses on upholding a quality education that develops individuals from all walks of life to their potential, which ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. Her vision matches with the mission of Elegant Empire Education as it curates a diverse range of online summits, workshops, webinars, and training sessions led by experts and outstanding leaders from various fields. Elegant Empire Education creates an inclusive and supportive environment, and by harvesting the power of technology and innovation, and through this platform, we aim to collaboratively organize educational events that will enhance knowledge dissemination, skill development, and fostering a lifelong learning global community. Elegant Empire Education strictly follows the slogan, quality education for all. And the topic of our session today is culturally responsive teaching practices in higher education. During our previous session, which was also focusing on culturally responsive teaching practices, we said that this type of strategies are approaches to teaching and how we can interact with individuals that take into account their cultural backgrounds, their experiences, their perspectives. And today we're going to discuss a lot about this, how we can help students, university students, develop competencies which are related to culturally responsive teaching, how we can bring real-world issues into the classroom, how we can take into consideration that we're actually living in a multicultural society and our classrooms are multicultural, how we can collaborate with the local communities and above all recognize and address biases in the system. We're very privileged and lucky to have with us an honorable expert, Dr. Randy Tudi, who's going to enlighten us on this topic. So we'd like to welcome you, Dr. Rundi.
Thank you very much, Rania. And sorry, start. I'm happy to be here with you. And for those who will be watching this in the uploaded video later on, we welcome you to this initiative of an organization in Malaysia with, as mentioned by Rania, the quality education for all as a slogan. And I think this is what the world needs now. And just before I will talk about the topic on culturally sensitive teaching practices, particularly in higher education, I would just like to share a little bit about what we are already discussing about the future university or the university in the future. Of course, what we have now is the traditional one where we have a building and then students will enroll, come every day, and teachers will be there meeting the students. But in the university in the future, it would be a different scenario. And what we are doing now is just a taste of what it is to be. You don't need to be in a country to get a degree in that particular country, but you can enroll a particular course. And this is now what is being promoted now with what we call as micro-credentialing, the MOOC or the MOOCs, where you can enroll a course in Harvard, you can enroll a course in MIT and other big universities. Then you will enroll in a particular school and you would give their certificates that you have already attended some of the short courses. And this university would honor that and they give you a degree. So this is already happening now, and not even now. In previous years, it has been practiced all over the world. Of course, in some of the third world countries, this is something new, but that is already, we are going there already. And the other feature of the University of the Future is when you don't need a teacher anymore. Look at the Coursera. You get a course in Coursera with no teachers. Yeah, you get a certificate with no teachers at all. There are already what they call a peer assessment or evaluation, but this is it. So I'm just happy that Professor Mala, with the help of other experts like Professor Rania, are organizing this kind of platform because we are moving. We are already moving into this. The pandemic just give us the push that we are already capable of educating or learning through different platforms like this. All right. So that is just an introduction of what comes to my mind when I see this platform, and you know, this is it. I mean, the world is becoming so small already. I am from the Philippines now, and I am sharing. Rania in Greece is with us, and Professor Mala in Malaysia. So this is it. And the world should be benefiting from this kind of initiative and platform. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's just a short introduction. I don't know if I will proceed to my piece on cultural sensitive teaching practices.
Definitely, the COVID pandemic gave us opportunity to connect with each other, teachers, educators from different countries, and exchange and share. It was one of the main, I would say, advantages, if we could say, advantages of this crisis. So you talked about the future of education and the future of the university. I think that the future of education, but it's already happening, is the multicultural, multiracial university. So why it is important to nowadays to promote what we call multicultural education? And what are the best examples of this? You can share some best examples of professional development about this. Why is multicultural education so important?
Yeah, first and foremost, that is important because, as you mentioned, it is already happening. Before, what we considered before as multicultural is, for example, in the US, you have a university there and you see Chinese, Malaysians, from Greece, from the Philippines. All these people are already studying there. In fact, I think there's a school. Is it Harvard, for example? Or I forgot. 60% of the, the students are foreigners. And there's even a specific country that dominates. So it is already happening. So what are we doing is actually to prepare all our universities or our colleges for these eventualities. For example, in the Philippines now, internationalization has been promoted by the government, and we already see a lot of students coming from different countries. We have a lot of Indians here studying medicines and other health-related courses. Koreans are coming here to study, etc. So I think what is important in the world and in individual educational institutions is to have that kind of framework that you are ready and responsive to the multiculturalism. For example, what are the benefits of having a culturally sensitive teaching practices? First, it is just to start with the curriculum or the curricula. In the study by Kenlan and others in 2024, just recently published, they were talking about promoting students' interest through culturally sensitive curricula in higher education. And what do they found in their study? First, culturally sensitive curricula were associated with higher student interest in their course. So you see, this is their output or the findings that when you have a culturally sensitive curricula, it has a positive effect when it comes to student interest in the course. So that's it. So even when they try to have a controlling variables like ethnicity and perceptions of the quality of relationship with teachers, even if you factor that into the model, still that culturally sensitive curricula is very positively correlated with students' interest. What else? Culturally sensitive curricula may benefit all higher education students, not just those who are ethnically minoritized. In other words, it's not just the minorities. Even the the majority of the students, it will be beneficial to them already. So that's from the study of Kinlan and others. And it has already been proven that when you have a culturally sensitive curriculum, it will benefit not only the minorities but also others. And I will proceed with the humanistic principles for providing culturally sensitive corrective feedback also. So from the curriculum, we also have corrective feedback because, like if you're a supervisor, teacher is also a supervisor, although there are also supervisors supervising teachers in higher education, but they are already talking now about humanistic principles for providing culturally sensitive corrective feedback. And this is very important because in a multicultural classroom, discipline and feedback matters because there are cultural groups that are very sensitive. Even in the voice. I remember when I went to the US, when I ordered at McDonald's ever, because that's the best I can do because that's familiar for me. So I ate there. But I'm used to the Philippines that when you go to the McDonald's and you line up, then when you line up, when it's already your turn to order, we keep looking at the menu, still searching. But when I was in the US, I was scolded because they could not wait. When you are there, you have to order immediately. You have been lining up for several minutes. You're expected when you are there, you already order. Not that it is the time that you will select what kind. What's the price? I was scolded. My God, oh no, this is just a simple sales girl, and I am a professional telling me like this. So that's culturally shocking for me. No, but that's it.
Why
Feedback,
do you think so,
supervision.
Professor Randy? Why do you think that they are behaving in such a manner? Why? Why the
No, that's cultural. That's cultural. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that when you are there, you should. And I realized, yeah, I'm supposed to be ready when I was at the counter. I should be ordering immediately, not looking at the menu again. So I mean, that's cultural because for me in the Philippines, I'll just
Not
texting.
Philippines, not only Philippines. We Asians are really spoiled. We don't care about people's time. We don't care about people's comfort. We only give. I mean, we are brought up in that way. Our community is like that. So I think from here, but they are they are very particular. But even you see, like in Malaysia, it's different. I think Philippines is so different. If you go to Australia, if you go to these kind of countries, even the light is red. If a pregnant woman is crossing, they will stop. Even a lady is walking, they will stop. Even an old lady is old people walking, they will stop. But we don't. Oh, red, it's my right to go. Right? So this is the difference. Very good for bringing up this.
So that's it. That's why this is the study of Holston and Bohecker. No, also this year, published this year. They were already talking about humanistic principles for providing quality sensitive corrective feedback. So first I was talking about curriculum, then I was talking about feedback because this is what is happening also in the classroom. You give feedback to your students.
Yes.
You get angry when students are not paying attention, or they're not paying attention because maybe they don't understand your language. They don't understand the way you pronounce the words. So anyway, so what I'm saying is it's like that. So according to Holston and Boxter, there are 6 principles for humanistic education. I will just discuss very briefly because we don't have much time. Number 1, a non-threatening environment. Non-threatening environment. So students should feel safe. Even if their teachers are already doctors or whatever, but there should be an environment that is non-threatening. Second, affective bias. What do you mean by affective bias? Meaning you should have that feeling for the students. Even if it is higher education, well, you would say it might be for the elementary. No. Even for the higher education students, you should have that affective bias. Third, self-evaluation, both for the teachers and also the students. What do you mean by self-evaluation? You look at yourself. Why I behave that way, or why I was angry, why I did not like my class today? Why is it that I am so affected when students are not participative, as if they are not responsive to me? You should reflect why. And that's part of the developing what they call humanistic principle. Number 4, and which is very Asian, connectedness. Connectedness. I remember I have a classmate teaching now in the US, and he said, no, I teach because if they will not listen, I don't care because we are given they don't call it lesson plan, but they have a material, no, a material that they will give to the students, all the activities, etc. As long as I can teach, that's what is expected for me. But Asians are not like that. Asians are relational. We relate with our students. Relationship is very important for us Asians, especially for us Filipinos. That's why we have a lot of teachers now teaching abroad. We are losing our teachers in the Philippines because they are very much welcome, especially when they're teaching kids. Yeah, in the elementary.
Nursing also.
We are losing
Nursing
teachers
also.
here.
Nursing also.
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, and one of that, it's not all, but one qualifications of a Filipino teacher is connectedness. So that's one of the principles of humanistic, one humanistic principle. Number 5 is self-determination. I think this should be, we are now in the AI world. We are now in the 4th and 5th industrial revolution. Where is the human aspect of that? We might get lost because of the technologies and the gadgets, etc. But we need to have self-determination. And that is one humanistic principle if you have to have a culturally sensitive teaching practices. You should be able to develop that among your students. They should have that self-determination. And last is personal growth orientation. As usual, we teachers are very concerned of the the growth of our students, but what about the personal growth? What do you mean by personal growth? They make their decision to grow. They make their own decision to be effective, to be good citizens in the country, not just to pass. Students are very concerned with grades. I told my students now, do not worry about grades. I'll give you good grades. I will tell them, I will give you good grades. As long as you see yourself growing. So for example, I have students, and when I receive their research outputs, my goodness, this is 60% similarity index in Turnitin. And others have 50% AI generated outputs. How can I accept it? When it is not your output, it is the output of AI. But anyway, that's another story. That's one of my researches also. But what I want them is, no, I want you to grow. I want you to learn. So if you want that, it is a principle, a humanistic principle for a culturally sensitive corrective feedback, and that is personal growth. So one is non-threatening environment, effective bias, self-evaluation, connectedness, self-determination, and personal growth orientation. And that's according to the study of Holston and Buhecker.
Wonderful. What is happening?
Yeah, and I continue. I don't know if you still have time. I think I already consumed a lot of minutes already.
Yes.
I think Rania and Esther, that when we talk, we have so many things in mind, and we can go for 4 hours.
Yes, we will have another session. We will have another session. Is not enough for you, and we want to hear more. You're such an amazing speaker, Dr. Randy. We will have more sessions with you. Yeah. So we have 1 minute left. I think it's short, impactful. Okay, so I really know that all the audience have got all your 6 points well. If they haven't got it, we will post it in our Facebook, and they can see. Yeah, they can listen again to what you have mentioned. Yeah, thank you so much, Professor Dr. Randy.
My pleasure.
Rania, back to you.
Okay. Okay, it's my honor to give the closing remarks.
In next session,
1
minute, yeah, 1 minute. Dr. Randy, in next session, I make sure I introduce you properly. You're from. So sorry, I apologize. Okay, dear.
Okay.
Yes.
It's my honor to give the closing remarks. The forum will talk with experts. It was a great honor to have with us Professor Randy Tudi, who enlightened us a lot about various aspects of a culturally responsive teaching environment how can all students can benefit from this, how it's important to create a safe, non-threatening environment, how to implement humanistic principles, and very important, he talked about the connectedness, self-determination, and how actually a culturally responsible environment, it is always